Are women's standards too high these days? What is keeping guys from finding and keeping the relationships they want? How to turn your life around and stop worrying. Here is some advice from someone who has walked this path. Honestly, I'm a bit fed up with reading all this dating advice in which I see both men and women focus on things that honestly don't matter while completely ignoring the elephant in the room. 3 elephants, on my count. We'll get to those, but first let's quickly review. I see time and again how these 3 character traits prevent guys from getting anywhere in dating. They are what really matters in this whole shebang. Sorry to say that, guys, but all the money, looks and status you can get, all the niceness and commitment to equality you can develop, matters squat, because you are desperate, boring, and selfish. Yeah, you heard me. When I read some online forums where guys complain about their dating woes and women, I don't understand how any of them can consider themselves having even the slightest of chances. They reek of desperation, have nothing interesting about them, and all they talk about is how it's oh so hard for them because they are all that matters in this world. I stop myself from saying this to their faces as I don't think it helps, but I need to write about it here. I'm just bitching, I know. Don't worry, I'll get to the solution soon. Desperate. Some guys got it in their head that dating is the most important thing in the world, and if they don't have a girlfriend, they're a life failure. They judge themselves and others by this measure, only making it so much more important. They feel so insecure on their own, as if they didn't consider themselves a whole human until they pair up. It's the constant if only I had a girlfriend my whole world would magically make sense. They've got no boundaries, no self-respect, they'd do anything to get female validation and worse to get validation from all the guys who keep measuring their worth by their dating success. They'll play nice, but only for the sake of getting laid, then it doesn't matter. And when they start talking to women, they're clinging to them like a damp rag, not letting them breathe, as if detaching for a second was just more failure. Boring. Most of those guys have little to no imagination on how to improve their condition. They just repeat what others told them without a moment of independent thought. They have no concept of what would help them stand out from the crowd. They never push themselves to go further, and they refuse to improve because it's too much work and the standards are impossible. Honestly, there are men I start talking to and want to stab forks into my eyes 5 minutes in, just to get out of how dull the conversation is. Yeah, women as well, I know, different topic. I know our culture of convenience makes it way too easy to never have to leave the house or stop playing games, but nobody has ever gotten interesting that way. All guys who take the couple rejections and romantic failures they had as teenagers as a reason to check out of society, bitch about how dating is impossible, and spend their lives between a job and a game, are working hard at becoming so boring that no woman will ever manage to spend 5 minutes with them without being entirely overtaken by the sudden need to jab forks into her eyes either. Even those who do go out, are often just basic dude brothers with no personality, do what their friends want and approve of, follow what some brain-dead influencers tell them, and copy and paste the most generic and outdated life advice. They even look the same because they don't dare step out of the jeans and t-shirt standard. Selfish. And then, on top of it all, most of those guys are just so busy dwelling on their own singledom misery, as if it was the only thing that mattered in the universe. It's all just woe is me all the time. I need this, I can't that, she's mean to me. This plays out for the narcissistic guys who are entirely focused on their own achievements. They don't care if their work and actions make others suffer, wreck the environment, or bring about AI apocalypse. They'd never volunteer a minute to a good cause unless somebody sees it. They just want status and cash. They want a girlfriend so they can feel good about themselves. They don't sound like they want a relationship, they sound like they want another trophy to make them look more successful. It also plays out for the desperate hide in the basement guys who are only focused on their own misery. Checking out of society and the struggle of living with and for other people, is just admitting that all that matters is me. These guys also don't care if their actions hurt others because they consider themselves such victims that they're completely entitled to focus solely on their misery. They want to find a girlfriend so they can feel less like a failure. They don't sound like they want a relationship, they sound like they want someone to fix them and be their crutch. Neither of them ever stop to think that maybe their selfishness is what makes them so unattractive. Because why would any woman want to reduce herself to being somebody's trophy or crutch? The entirely unsurprising failures. Time and again, I see guys fail at dating and complain about it like it was everybody else's fault. Dating is impossible. Ridiculous standards. I'm just too short. Meanwhile, it is blindingly obvious that they fit pretty damn well in one or more of the above categories. Except that they don't see it themselves. And you know what? I'm not even judging. I don't think I've ever been boring, but I certainly had times in my life when I was desperate and selfish. We all have times of weakness. But we can't just dwell in them, refusing to look in the mirror and improving. And yes, it is hard work to improve. Grow the fuck up and get used to the fact that everything that's worth anything takes work. Life is not a never-ending TikTok feed of free dopamine, it's not instant gratification of porn, and it has no cheat codes. You don't get fit from taking a lift up a mountain, you get fit from putting your goddamn hiking boots, strapping a backpack, and walking up, one foot after the other. This is literally one of the most amazing things about masculinity: the strength to get shit done, no matter what. To set a target and go. To stop whining and get on with it. To do things because they're hard. To conquer fears and bring down walls. To push boundaries and defy limitations. To rise above difficulties, persist through adversity, and achieve greatness. If you can't be bothered doing any of that, if you prefer sitting and complaining, then you are an evolutionary dead end, a living proof that the modern convenience culture is our undoing. Honor your masculinity, take a long hard look in the mirror, and do what needs done.